Miracles We Have Seen, Chapter 40. Miracle of Four Roads, Haiti. Do you believe in miracles? The people of Nazareth did not believe in their hometown rabbi, Jesus, and because of that, very few miracles happened in that region of Galilee. Faith is the key ingredient for miracles. Here is such a story from Jamaica. Four Roads is a church located a few miles from Ocho Rios. It was built by Cicero Christian Church. The enemy has done its best to destroy this work of faith. On one particular Sunday a few months ago, an angry man walked into the church and attempted to kill Pastor Maxo, Pastor DeJonas. His attempt failed. Brother Maxo felt that he must leave the church. He returned to his native island of Haiti. In a state of shock, disbelief, and discouragement, our hearts grieved for Pastor Maxo. A few Sundays later, following that episode, Winona and I felt we must visit Four Roads and try to encourage the people and pray with them. Just as we were leaving Golden Grove that morning, we received a phone call telling us services had been canceled at Four Roads for that morning. We should not go there. We felt a strong compulsion to visit the church in spite of that announcement. We felt perhaps that we could find some of the members or leaders and give them some encouragement and hope. We went to the church and found the doors open and a few people sitting in the pews, waiting. Brother Moses, our driver and pastor at Windsor, went to the pulpit to lead singing and devotions. We did not know if anyone else would come, in view of the recent events. Then we heard a bus driving toward the church building. It was full of singing, joyful people from a church in Spanish Town. We never heard of that church. Their pastor, Ian Johnson, consented to give the sermon. More and more people came into the building. A wonderful altar service concluded the meeting. The sound of special music, singing the praises, filled the church and the surrounding community. Four Roads was still very much alive. What was the miracle? After Ian Johnson and his congregation related some very sad news to us, they had a wonderful congregation in Spanish Town, located near some of the most dangerous ghettos in Jamaica. They had been worshiping under a zinc roof on leased land. No organized denomination wanted any part of them. And to make matters worse, the lease would expire within a few weeks, and they must locate their makeshift cathedral. The Lord spoke to our hearts. We are certain the Spirit moved us to say, "We will do our best to help you." How could we do that? Where would we find the finances? The enemy mocked me. We just prayed and believed and claimed that wonderful group of men and women that day. A few days later, the Lord answered our prayers. Some guests from America decided to drive with us to Spanish Town to inspect a potential building site for our new brothers and sisters. We walked and prayed over the land. They all turned into tears of concern for the precious congregation. God spoke to our hearts. Nothing was said about money. Yet from that prayer meeting came enough financial blessings to make the down payment on the property. But where was the miracle? A few weeks later, we received a message from Brother Maxo, and at that, he found a closed church building that could be leased for around $200 a year. Were we interested? Would we come over and see for ourselves? As we prayed, the Spirit urged us to go to Haiti. and if possible assist Pastor Maxo with the church opening. Our sons Stephen and Ray Yoder of Four Roads, Cicero Christian, felt impressed to join us there. The first night service in the newly rented building witnessed around 65 people at the revival. The Holy Spirit blessed, and people came forward to make some decision for their spiritual lives. The next night, Stephen preached, and more than 80 people attended. Some people were saved. The next night, the last night of the mini revival, there were around 300 people crowded into the building. A church was born. I looked into Maxo's face the next morning as we held the baptismal service in a swimming pool, and I saw great joy and peace. He was a new man. God set him free from the pain and persecution he had experienced before. Forgotten now were the rock and the machete wielded by an angry, perhaps demon-possessed man. Maxo DeJonas was a new man. But where was the miracle? Well, if Maxo had not been attacked, he would not have returned to Haiti. If we had not gone to Four Roads that Sunday, we would not have met Ian Johnson and the wonderful people of Spanish Town. If we had not gotten involved with Spanish Town, we could not have shared in their purpose. The last but least, Pastor Johnson, will be leaving in a few days to hold revival crusades on 3 other Caribbean islands. He feels that he will be able to assist in the opening of a new church on Aruba, an island near Venezuela, and that church will be named Christ Community Church. One day you and I will join in a celebration song around the throne of God. We will hold hands with Jamaicans, Haitians, Hoosiers, and Arubans who heard about Jesus through your prayers, your faith, and your giving. I can't wait. Now, do you believe that this is a miracle? God works in mischievous ways, his wonders to perform.